Welcome to another episode of our Real Leaders, Real Connection. And as I always say, this is about getting behind or into a closer look into who we are behind our Facebook, social media profiles, and really connecting on a level that is meaningful, having a conversation, and really seeing people's stories. We're all leaders. What does it mean, and how can we get to know each other better and connect through conversation? And today we have with us Duduzile Fox, and I know that you are happy to be called Fox, right? So,
Fox.
yeah, welcome. Happy to have you here. Thank you for your time. And we'd love to hear your story. What is a story from your life that was significant and meaningful that you would like to share with us today?
Hi everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to share my story. There's so many stories that I can literally draw from that I can tell from my childhood and being considered the stubborn child, the different one, and what so forth. It is more of the capabilities that people haven't actually discovered about yourself. I think the most outstanding thing that I feel I have done was taking responsibility for myself from a very young age. And there comes a time where you no longer need anyone's concern. You make a decision, you stick by it, and you back it up. And one life-changing moment for me was when I remember when I told my mom at some point that I have registered for a master's degree and I've registered for it in a different country. This was my first time studying outside South Africa, and it cost this much and I'll be traveling to that area. And she looked at me puzzled, like, what did you just do? And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it. And she looked at me in the face and said, you are on your own.
Wow.
You're going to fund yourself a sponsorship or whatever that you want to do, because I do not understand why would you still study? You are overqualified already. You've got qualifications. But for me, it was more of a yearning. I knew I was looking for more information, knowledge. I wanted to explore something. And I said to her, okay, I'll do that.
How old were you at the time?
With zero plan. This was 26.
26.
Literally, yes,
Wow.
with zero plan. I've literally zero plan, financially and otherwise.
So at that point, it was just an idea.
No. It was something I've acted on it. I've done it already.
Okay, and at that point, when you went to tell your mother in that moment and she said to you, you're on your own, it was an idea.
Yeah.
You didn't have any plan around it, but you were determined this is what you were going to do.
It wasn't an idea. It already happened. I'm telling you, the application thing, and all that I'm waiting for now is the response from the institution.
Oh, okay. So you'd applied.
Yes, like I have no idea what got into you, but as far as I'm concerned, I have done my fair use of schooling you up to this point. This time around, you are on your own.
Wow.
And I said, okay, no problem. And indeed, I was on myself. I never worked this hard to finance myself, my traveling, my intuition, and everything that was summed around me doing my postgraduate.
What did you do? How did you raise the funds?
I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur, and besides my mainstream work of town planning, I consult.
Okay.
And as an independent consultant, I charge a fee. I think I might be quite good as well in terms of budgeting. And I'm very much big in investment. So when money comes in, I look for something that's going to give me more money with the money that I have.
Awesome.
So I diversify the cash flow. And before I knew it, at the end of 2 years, like, oh, this thing is done.
Wow. So it was the 2 years, did you go straight away, or did you have to take some time to gather the cash, make the plan?
No, it was an on and off. traveling
Oh,
quarterly.
okay.
Yes, ongoing program.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow. And you made it happen.
and I made it happen.
Hmm. How did
And
that
she was.
experience change you?
It has taught me independence. I've always been independent. I've always been an independent thinker from a very young age. This is not one of the independent decisions that I've made about myself in my life. But it was more of a shocker to them because this was me saying, I'm doing something in a different space. This was a different country. I know no one in that area, but I was so determined that I said, I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to learn a new culture if need be. And
Mm-hmm.
I did to
Mm-hmm.
that. And out of that experience, I got a second home. I got to network with a diverse kind of people, and it actually changed me, you know. And for me, that was like an aha moment to say, actually, fear is an ideology. You know, fear is something that we construct and we put it in our head, and then we manifest it as real. So here I was telling my mom that I'm gonna do this, and I literally closed off any negativity that was gonna come. Whether she said do it or don't do it or so forth, my decision was made, and I did exactly that. And as I was in the process, I was like, oh, this is not really that bad, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
overcoming of the unknown and actually finding something far bigger than you anticipated. It's very refreshing,
Yeah.
enlightening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I'm hearing from you is that there was a lot of fear around when you felt that you were on your own, like how are you going to manage? But you stepped into it, did it, you were determined, and the benefits that you got from it afterwards were enormous. And that is that everything that you mentioned, which is almost like having a second home, exposure to a new
Yeah.
culture, new people that you were with, the
Yeah.
learning, the stuff that you came back home with in terms of what you'd gained. It sounds
Mm,
like it all really contributed.
it all did. You
Mm,
know, me about to be open-minded and just to allow yourself be yourself. You know,
yeah,
so people are very welcoming when they get to see the real you know, because then they get to accept you for you, not what you're trying to be.
yeah,
Then it becomes an exchange of cultural diversity. I teach you who I am and you teach me, and we start forming these relationships that were never planned, you know. So but then if you're gonna go there with fear, you're already sending out energy that is saying, I'm different, I'm from somewhere else, I don't know what's happening here. But when you just open up, people are willing to accept you. And
yeah.
for me, that was very much profound to
So how's your
see that.
mother? Sorry, go ahead.
Now you can proceed.
I was going to say, how's your mother today? What does she say now after you did it and you got the degree and you are over that part of your life?
I think my mom still doesn't get the kind of independent thinker that I am. And she kind of accepts it to a certain level, but being a mom, she's very protective, you know. And I say, I'm that kid that says, don't protect me, let me learn, let me fall from the tree, then I know next time that that's a tree that's not supposed to be climbed, you know. So mommy's like, don't go to the tree type of thing. So I've always been that kid,
Yeah.
but I just think with growing up, with the age thing coming in, it becomes more exponential to say, I want
Mm,
to see the world. I
yeah.
want to see there's more to it. You know, there's no way that I can be restricted within this boundary because of safety. You
Right.
know, safe from what
Yeah.
to begin with?
And it feels to me there's something about kind of maybe the safety of um, living according to what's expected, you know, whether it's your parents or your culture or your surroundings or whatever it is, what's expected, or actually really listening to your inside voice, what's real and right for you and who you are, overcoming the fear of kind of doing things differently and then really allowing yourself to fly.
I've never really had the mentality and the ideology of this is how things are done. Who said this is how things are done? You
Mm,
know, for me, it's always been about reference to say, then if you cannot reference who said it and how did we come to this, then it's just a construct of something. So
Right.
I cannot be confined within a construct of something that I don't know what the foundation is. So that is very limiting for me. So I do not want to be within limited range.
Yeah.
However, if I get to express things for myself, and I always believe in how we look at kids as infants. They're very innocent. They're still trying to figure out what's happening around them until they are being told, do this, don't do that, don't do that. Before then, all of it is experimental to say, oh, this is a wall. I can touch it. I can feel it. Oh, this is that. They're discovering it for themselves. And for me, this is where I feel we lose it when we start growing and conforming to things that we have no idea who constructed them, how they came about, and you start killing yourself
Yeah.
internally because you're not you. You are confined by things that you have no idea what they're about, and the inner you wants to come out. So I'm a very, very big believer in intuition to say
Yeah.
your inner voice
Yeah.
knows you. It's that child. So I refuse to be blocked down by it was said. Who said that?
Yeah. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I always want to explore, and my exploring is finding the solutions to this is what was said. And since this was said and it's not working and people are still doing it, I'm the one who's trying to find the solution around it to undo it, because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is your leadership message? I heard a lot. I mean, there's a lot of learning and a lot of messages, but if you had to pick one, what is your message in terms of leadership that you want to leave our viewers with?
Okay. This is my personal philosophy. It cut across all sectors of my life, my spirituality, my beliefs, my relationships, my conduct, my professionalism, personal development, intuition, and self-belief. If it's coming from the inside, just do it.
Yeah. Listen to
It's
the
what
inner
you're
voice.
supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So I've always lived my life like that. Self-belief, intuition and self-belief, because I do not believe that your intuition can send you to do something wrong. I do not believe that these are your construct in your mind.
Right.
And this is why for me, I always try and explain to people to say, what is an intuition? It's something beyond. Even science itself hasn't grasped what this thing is. But when you look at all our global leaders who have done good, they're all saying the same thing to say, as they were doing this thing, something was happening. And they realized that it was this voice, their gut feeling, the tenacity that was telling them to do it. Then it made me realize that we are all intuitive. It's what are we listening to? Others are listening from their internal wisdom. Others are listening from their external.
Yeah.
So it's always been intuition.
Yeah, yeah. And I do always have the conversations with people about when we really listen, whatever you call it intuition, our inner voice, the universe, whatever it is that we want to connect to and really feel a part of. And if we've listened to those inner voices, that intuition, how often has that, when you've listened or acted on your intuition, how often has it been wrong? And I've never heard anyone say that it's ever been wrong. Yeah.
Never.
It's more if we don't act on it, or if we act out of fear that we are led astray a little bit and we make the wrong decisions. But when you really kind of get connected to yourself and listen to that inner voice and take guidance from your inner compass,
Yeah.
I've never heard of anyone going wrong with that. So I think that's a beautiful message to actually leave our viewers with. And last question, tell us where you are and what you love about the city that you live in.
I am originally born from KZN, Kwanangoma. I was bred in Johannesburg my whole life. I'm not really a Joburger. I'm really a rural girl at heart, and I've lived my whole life here in Joburg. And it's Joburg, like how the world would literally think of Joburg. When you're so used to a place.
Say something nice about Joburg.
It's like you start losing value of it as way the other people view it, because when they come to you and they visit you and you start showing them around, they're like, oh my gosh, there's this place. And for you, it's like, yeah. So, but I'm a rural girl at heart, and I love nature. I love safari. I love to connect with universal wisdom, and for me, it's literally living the dual life. The city life, that's where the whole economy, the pace is happening. However, I feel that's not quite healthy to be there for a very long time. You still need to reboot, and nature is where I sort of started falling in love with taking care of the environment, which literally became secondary in my career space. And that's basically what I want to do now, to say we protect nature, whichever way we should be doing, and balancing the development side of it and not distracting nature, because we do need nature.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you, Fox. It was wonderful having this conversation with you. I've really enjoyed it, and just wishing you all the best. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining. Bye.